You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Hey, good morning and welcome back to the show. Thanks for sticking with us through our brief intermission there. We have a very special guest for this segment, today's episode, the last interview of the day. So that makes it very special, right? I would think so. All right, get ready, because here it comes. Here is another day. Another 24 hours in which to move forward, to get things done, to learn, to grow, to live and enjoy. In the next 24 hours, someone, somewhere will move forward with a decision that will create great wealth. And in the next 24 hours, someone, somewhere will fall in love and it will last a lifetime. In the next 24 hours, someone, somewhere could make a discovery that will change the world. Plenty of great things will happen in the next 24 hours. It is a fertile period of time just waiting to be used. So what do you have planned for it? 24 hours from now, how much farther along will you be? Will you have made the most of this great opportunity? Today is the day to act. If not today, when? You keep telling yourself tomorrow, next week, next Sunday, that's the beginning of the week, I should start then. When will you act? It's a fabulous opportunity. Today, right now, clear your schedule. I'm sure a lot of us have a clear schedule right now, given the current circumstances, but still, there is time to do something. No one anywhere in the world has more time than you do in the next 24 hours. It's plenty of time to plant the seeds for magnificent accomplishments. So get started right this minute and have a great, productive day. But don't start till after the podcast. Then you can start. I'll give you that. All right, take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
You're live in the mix. Let's get this started.
Yo, hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline, or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens. Or people think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com. And that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together Yes, together we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
Imagine being paid for using social media. WebTalk is changing the way we connect and get paid. WebTalk is the social media platform that pays you. With WebTalk, you can promote and manage all your social media sites from one place. It includes features like user search, media galleries, referral tracking, magic newsfeed, Meet video chat, classifieds, and much, much more. WebTalk is booming with over 4 million users. Manage, connect, engage, get paid. No matter why you network, you can do it better with WebTalk. You can connect with your friends, colleagues, and the world. Use WebTalk to consolidate, organize, and syndicate everything. Imagine your perfect networking app. You will find it with WebTalk. It's time to take back control of you. WebTalk is the best free way to communicate and create success. To learn more, visit myfreewebtalk.com. That's myfreewebtalk.com.
All right, again, welcome to the show. You're listening to Vigilantes Radio-podcast, and I'm your host, dini-mussolini. Our very special guest today goes by the name of Willette Hurst. She is an international speaker and author and founder of the wonderful company Driven to Empower You, LLC. All right, just that name alone gives me inspiration. Like, her whole mission is driven to empower someone else. That is great, man. So our interviews go beyond the music, the books, the movies, the films, the education, the technology, the business, and sometimes even ego. We go into the minds of these marvelous people who create these marvelous aspirations for you, I, and the universe. That is my sole purpose here. I mean, I have other purposes, but that's one of my purposes here for Vigilantes Radio for you guys. Because I have the questions and they have the answers. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and welcome Willette to our show. Hello, good morning, and how are you?
I am. Good morning. I'm fantabulous.
All right. So right now you are based in California, right?
No, I'm actually in North Carolina, but I'm born and raised from California. Born and raised in
Cali and migrated all the way to North Carolina. That's a big move. What prompted you to, change coast like that?
I'm actually from ministry. I was in Georgia for 2 years. And then God sent me here to North Carolina, and then I'm on my way back home to California. I was actually born and raised in West Hollywood, California.
Oh, nice. Okay. So you get to travel a lot, given your industry. Okay.
Right.
So, which city is your favorite place to go?
I'm from Cali, so I love California. I love, like how even like your opening, the motivation, the fire that you have there to impact people. I just love it. It's a feeling that nobody in the world can really experience until you've been in California.
Yeah. I've been there a few times myself, and every time I go, I don't want to leave. I think about just packing up and heading on over to the West Coast. Yeah.
Come on, when I get home, you're welcome.
All right, cool deal. So let's back up for a minute and kind of get an inside look on your life, your whole journey. And you could start at any point on your timeline as you want. You can go back as far as you want, even when you were a baby. But what's your life story? What is the genesis of Willette Hurst?
Oh, wow. The story of Willette Hurst was a lot of brokenness. It was a lot of from being molestation, rejection by your mom, being in a girl's home, being in a domestic violence marriage for 20 years, raising an ADHD daughter. Weighing almost 300 pounds because of the molestation, and having weight loss surgery and almost dying from weight loss surgery. You name it. But when I tell you that I ended up, or you asked me how I ended up across the country, was I was in California in 2012. I got sick at my job. I used to do donation, where donate life when somebody passed away. I was the one that approached for donation, bone, skin, heart, valves, and sometimes the brain. And at that point, I got hurt, and the doctor told me I was totally disabled. And in 2012, I was evicted. I lost everything. I lost everything that you can possibly lose. I lost a little self-esteem I had left, and I ended up being homeless for like almost 6 years in other people's homes. But I didn't know that was actually a setup. I didn't know that was a setup for greatness. Because when I left California, God told me to get out of California because he wasn't going to open nothing. I couldn't do anything. Somewhere that I had been for 50 years, I couldn't do anything. And so the journey started from me driving from California to Georgia, not knowing where I was going to live, not knowing what I was going to do, but I was just tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I had been driving my life for 50 years, and I was having a bunch of wrecks and was failing all over the place. So I drove to Georgia, and I was connected to somebody. I've been a coach for young people, and I was connected to somebody else when I got there. And she was. Well, let me back up. I'm part of a ministry, and they gave me a number, and they said, Coach Willette, you can't go to another state, and you don't know nobody. So they gave me 3 names that was in Atlanta. Gave me 3 names. And the third name, the person was looking for some manuals to help her train this class. I was a coach for that type of ministry. And when she gave her the name, I talked to the lady for 5 hours on the phone. And she said, look, hey, I'm getting ready to start a class. You can come share a house. Come share this house with me and my family, and you can help train these young people. So I did it. Had never laid eyes on these people. Ended up sharing a room with a 7-year-old for 7 months. 7 means completion. And it was because God said I was immature from the inside out, and he had to raise me because of all the brokenness that I had. You know how when people tell you, oh, when you're dating, you're like, oh, no. And you talk to your friends, you be like, oh, no, I'm not dating that chick because she got too much baggage. Well, I'm not dating that dude because they got too much baggage. Let me tell you, when I left California, I had a luggage store. I didn't even have baggage. I had a luggage store, and each suitcase had a name for it: molestation, abandonment issue, low self-esteem, domestic violence, you name it. When I tell you that I had to look at myself, the woman in the mirror, and do that work, I couldn't fake it no more. I couldn't blame nobody else. And I had a lot of crying parties, a lot of screaming parties, and did the work that I needed to do to heal myself. And I did it. And in the South, and let me tell you something, I was born in Santa Monica, California. I was raised in West Hollywood. My mother, I ain't never made greens a day in my life. My mama had 2 microwaves. I put sugar in my grits and equal if you messing with me. So I was such a fish out of water. But when I tell you, I found out who I was. When I went to Georgia, I was a fully loaded weapon that didn't know how to shoot properly. But now I know who I am now, and now I'm an author. Now I'm a coach. Now I'm also an evangelist, and so that's why we're here now.
Most definitely. How long would you say? Because a lot of people think, I won't say a lot of people, but a lot of people have the misconception about the road to recovery for anything, you know, even the road to salvation, because a lot of times we believe that we can fix ourselves without the help of God or a higher power or something to believe in, you know. So how long on your recovery road did it take you to realize that you couldn't do this alone?
I guess I didn't know when I was with my family. I didn't know when I was married because I was too busy pouring into other people. I found out when he took me away from everything, everybody I knew. And, you know, you're so busy like, oh, it was my ex-husband's fault. Oh, it was this person's fault. I had this big old V on my chest, this victim mentality. And till he took me away from everything, it took that 3 years, but it took 3 hard, long years, like you say, in the wilderness, where I couldn't depend on nobody but God. I couldn't depend on anybody else. I didn't know anybody in the South. I couldn't go to, like, my mom. I couldn't go to somebody else. I couldn't go to somebody else and say, like, help me, fix me, because I was just broken and nobody else could fix me without trusting in him. I had a lot of what I call bipolar Christian moments, where I trust you on this end, and then I'm screaming and having like a tantrum on the other end.
Most definitely, yeah. So how did you find your journey into being an international speaker?
I actually was, after I ended up leaving, when I was in California, I ended up going to this program. It's called through, I don't know how old you are, if you remember Bonanza.
Yeah.
The person that my coach, he bought that Bonanza Ranch, and he turned it into a private Christian resort. And I was trained up under him for 4 years as a speaker. When he first met me, he said, now this was when I was still in my brokenness and didn't even know who I was. He looked at me. He said, you're anointed. He said, you're intelligent and you know it. And I didn't know it. And I was coaching for the young people. And I was serving in his ministry for 4 years. And his ministry is part of a whole lot of entertainment. Like, everybody from across the world has came to hear him speak. His name is Al Hollingsworth. You may have heard about him. He used to be a football player. So for 30 years, for 4 years, I served up under him. And now you're talking about a person, now I'm an international speaker, you're talking about a person that when I was in high school, that I had so much low self-esteem that if I was late going to class, I wasn't going to go to class because I didn't want you to look at me. I didn't want you to look at me. I didn't want you to judge me. I was scared to walk into rooms, and he pushed me out. He said, you're coaching for these kids, and you're teaching them how to stand up with confidence. You're pouring into these people all day long. He said, now it's time for you to speak. And he threw me out in front of, and it was nothing but actors and actresses and business people that come from across the world to hear him speak, and that's how I became then I went to spoke in the Bahamas just in October, so that now I am an international speaker.
Oh, wow. What about as an author? How did that journey begin?
The author came because as a person not knowing who they were, a person that kept following everybody else, because if you don't know who you are, you'll follow everything else. If you think that everybody else got it going on and you think that you got a lot of flaws and you're not any earthly good, you'll follow everybody else. So it was so much like all the journey that I told you I had been through. It was so much that I was supposed to be writing a long time ago, but I was too busy helping everybody else. And one day God was like, stop doing everybody else. And then I was getting this like, what are you doing with the time that I gave you? What are you doing with what I put in you? What, you know, it was something I had to give birth to what he impregnated me with. I had to give birth to my dreams, my vision, my ideas. I was pouring into everybody else and then not doing what I was supposed to be doing.
Most definitely. All right. So books. How many have you penned so far?
I'm co-author in one. I'm co-author in one book called Overdue. I'm author of 2 books. My first book is How to Stay on the Journey Regardless of a Rage, and then my second book is Don't Kill Your Vision for Another Man's Baby.
I like that. All right. So let's talk about the main this year, Driven to Empower You. What prompted you to start this business?
It was a download from God, but that's what I love to do. I love to see when I see people who have been through some stuff in life, and I can see what I can listen to them. If I'm around you any amount of time, I can see what's your strength or something that you're scared to try, or and I want to see you be the best person that you possibly can be. And so I love to see people come to me that have been through some stuff, some broken stuff. I don't care what they've been through, as long as they have breath in body. We're gonna go together and make sure that you go get what you're supposed to get. A lot of times with the brokenness, we go after the berries in life instead of going after the steak. And I want to make sure that the people that hire me, that they don't eat the berries no more. They go for the filet mignon.
Yes. Okay. So a lot of our listeners are like starters. You know, they want to start a business. They want to start become an author or become a speaker, but they just don't know how, or have been sitting on the idea. So they want to hear it from someone who's walked that road. How long did you have the idea of, or the concept of, Driven to Empower You before you actually brought into fruition?
It was probably a long time. It took a long time, but I kept pushing it down and kept aborting it. It's a long journey, because a lot of times we will depend on a job and we'll be fearful for doing what we need to do. And we think that the job is security, but if you see in this day and time, your job is not security. You need to give birth. I say give birth to whatever you've been impregnated with, whatever your dream, your vision, your idea that God has impregnated you with. You have to give birth to that, because no matter what, even though if you're fearful or not, you have to give birth to it, because there's a solution that you need to be the answer to. A lot of times we're fearful because we listen to other people. Like we'll have the idea that we need to do, and we'll ask for co-signers. We'll ask for our friends, our family. So what do you think? But if people have never did it before, they'll be scared and they'll talk you out of it. It's like people can't tell you how to get somewhere if they ain't never been there before.
That's right, man. That is so right. All right. So what is one of the main focus of Driven to Empower You?
To empower people. Now, I don't want to motivate you. I want to empower you, because when you motivate people, it's just like a shower. It don't last that long. I want to empower you to get out there and say, look, I'm not living this life no more. I'm better than this, and I'm going after I'm going after what I came for. I'm going after everything.
Yeah, most deaf. All right, and how can people get in or connect with Driven to Empower You?
I have a 800 number.
Mm-hmm.
The number is 1-866, the number 2, and then you spell out the word drive, DRIVE, or it's 1-866-923-7483.
Yes. All right, guys, and we will have that number in the link of the description of this episode. So all you got to do is click you can't click the link, just call the number, get connected with Willette. But Willette, let's talk about self-love, which is a
big
topic.
Deal.
Yeah, a topic that is discussed but really isn't discussed openly.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and people confuse self-love with given that we have Instagram and Facebook and the constant posting of selfies. That's not necessarily
with damages.
Yeah, it's not necessarily self-love. When I feel like people who overdo that are looking for validation because they don't validate themselves. So what is your whole experience and insight on self-love, social media, and selfies?
Okay, as far as self-love, you talking to somebody didn't love myself for nothing. Because I didn't know my worth. I didn't know my worth. Because when you've been abused and when you've been through some stuff and people tell you you're not going to amount to anything, you don't have a whole lot of self-esteem. So when that's all you know, that's what you allow in your life until you say, no more. So in order for self-love, you have to fall in love with yourself. You have to fall in love with yourself. When I say fall in love with yourself, I'm talking about your good parts, your bad parts, the ugly parts. You have to fall in love with every fiber of your body, because the bad stuff that you went through, it happened for you, not to you, and it built the person that you see in the mirror. Had that stuff not happened, you wouldn't see the awesome man and the awesome woman you see in the mirror. As far as Facebook, I say Facebook. I use Facebook. But the thing of it is setting up people to be superficial. It's giving people artificial courage. And in real life, they don't have that. We don't have where we can have a decent conversation anymore. And with the selfies, you see the people, and then in person they don't look like that. It's like, fall in love with you and don't look for the world to validate you, because when you look for the world to validate you, it's just like it's like a hot air balloon. It goes up in the air. The people that pumped up your head would be the same person that's standing in the corner putting a pin in your head that's going to let you out. The world say I'm supposed to be 125 pounds. I tell people that's birth weight. You have to rock whatever you are, whoever you are. Be creative. Be you. If you work your craziness. Be you. Don't stand. It takes more courage to be different than it does to stand in the crowd. I don't know if you've been to Magic Johnson's Fridays before, or heard of Magic Johnson's Fridays before. I literally went to a restaurant and was sitting next to the bathroom, and every woman that came out that bathroom looked the same. Same hair, eyebrows cut the same way, everything. I was the only eyeball out. But whatever in this day and time, especially right now when the world is upside down, spend that downtime right now loving on you, forgiving people that have mistreated you, and that's why you feel low self-esteem, and forgive yourself for the part that you played in it. Forgive yourself for the part you played in it, and just embrace everything right now. and look at how far that you've come. A lot of times we look at stuff and we like, we're not where we're at because we're comparing ourselves to other people. And when you find out you compare yourself to other people, you think they got it going on. You find out they ain't got it going on either. That's just a mirage. But when you sit up there and you really do the work on yourself and you see how far you come, because we stand in a line and we like, dang, this line taking so long, and you know, when they gonna get to me? Or that's the same way in life. Dang, I'm still far behind. But if you turn around and you take the time to turn around and look and see how far you've come, you'll be thankful for that instead of belittling where you've come from. So my question is today, don't depend on your likes or dislikes because it sets you up for failure, but like yourself and love yourself and don't settle for nothing less. I was the person that was like that. I was like that for 50-something. I'm 53, and I was that way till 50. And I finally embraced myself. Embrace yourself, because when you can truly walk in your true, authentic self, where you don't care when you walk in a room how people feel about you. You don't care that they like your outfit or not. You don't care. That's true. That's some power when you can walk in your true, authentic self.
Yes.
I hope I answered your question.
Oh, yes. That was amazing. That was amazing. Wow. Well, before we let you go, let us know where we can connect with you online and how we can get involved with Driven to Empower You.
Okay, once again, the number is the 1-866, the number 2, and the letter DRIVE. I'm also on Facebook at Willette M Hurst, and that's WILLETTE, and the letter M and HURST. And my website is getting revamped, so it's but it's Driven, the number 2, Empower, and the letter U.org. But I love to reach out to people. If you're struggling with anything, you just need a word, or you just need an idea, or just to run something by somebody that's not going to judge you, but is going to empower you, holler at me. I'm down to earth. I just want to see everybody win.
Most definitely. All right, guys, just in case you need those links, we will have them in the description of this episode and in the show notes. So all you have to do is click those links and you'll be connected with Willette Hurst. Now, again, I want to thank you so much for being our guest. You're super awesome. Man, I just pray for major success in your life and that you continue to do what you do.
And I just want to tell you, I just speak life and blessings on your future and how you're impacting people and empower them to be better. And I just see greatness coming. The best is yet to come for you.
Thank you so much. I'll take that. Yes, yes. All right, well, enjoy your morning or the rest of your day, and be great.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to theradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable, because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.